have live by satellite. It's a beautiful day, I'm running away. Don't bother to Facebook message or call me.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Awards Night. It's another episode of the Filmbox Podcast. I don't have much of an intro for this episode, except we're doing our 2022 Best of the Year Awards. Our first ever. I'm your host, Aaron Souza, and I'm joined by a couple guys who watched a lot of movies this year. That's for sure. It's Connor Jameson and Sam Majewski. Do you guys know what your actual final movie count is this year?
It was in the hundreds.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Jesus.
Talking about just all movies, period, not just ones that came out
Right.
this year. 'Cause I don't think I could have survived watching every single movie that came out this year.
Oh god, that would be wild.
124 movies.
Wow.
I had 122.
And I was on the low end of that with at least 70, but I don't know the exact number, but it was like 70. Probably 75 closer to.
So what that means is I am the new host. Sam's my co-host.
And I'm just
Aaron-
the guy that's here.
Aaron's our editor from now on.
Yeah,
You've been
well.
demoted.
Well. Look, all right. I'm a busy person. I don't watch whatever.
Sam, we all
I still
talk.
watched a lot of movies. 73 movies is not it's like what every 3 days.
Yeah, but me and Sam almost doubled you up. I think that speaks more to me and Sam than it does to you, though.
Oh boy. Well, today's episode we got a little something special. So last week we did like a sort of Christmas game night to wrap up the holiday season, and now we're doing the official first ever Filmbox Awards night for 2022. And these are the officially definitive winners in each category. Put it in the books. This is the most prestigious award of the year. To wrap up 2022 and head into a wonderful 2023. Before we do that, though, I think we want to talk a little bit about what we felt our top 5 movies were of the year. And that sort of will give us a little bit of a primer to how we felt, or how we opinionate a little bit. Yeah, that's a word in terms of film, and then we'll talk about a little bit how the awards are actually going to work, how we decided on films, whatever, and then we'll get into the actual awards. We'll talk about each movie that wins in brief, but yeah. All right. Well, Connor, you want to start us off with your, I guess, do we want to do like our 5 and then our 4 and then our 3?
Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
We're gonna start with
Okay,
our
so let's start with honorable mentions because I
Yeah.
know you've got a couple.
Yeah, so I just have 3. First off, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Beautiful stop motion film. Loved it. I think it's on the same par as the original. My other honorable mention, The Batman. Fucking love that movie. And one I recently saw, The Whale. That made me feel so uncomfortable. I'd never want to see it again, but in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sam.
All right, so I also have 3 honorable mentions. First one I also see recently is The Whale.
Oh, wow. I see we have a theme.
The other one is The Northman. Fun movie about revenge and pretty gory, but if you're into that stuff, I
About
guess.
the Vikings.
The Vikings, yeah. And then
The Vikings.
My last one,
Skull.
it's a shame that I don't have this up high on my top 5, but this is my number 6, is The Banshees of Inisherin.
Wow. I thought for
pick.
sure that was cracking your top 5.
Pick.
Aaron,
Aaron.
all right,
yes,
and
sir.
my honorable mentions, I've got 2. I want to shout out Nope. I thought Nope was phenomenal, one of the best horror movies of the year.
Thank you.
Really, really good. Kind of what got me into the horror mode for 2022, which is really tough to do because I'm not particularly a huge horror movie fan. And then I also want to shout out Hustle, the Adam Sandler flick. Great movie, super good. I felt like Sandler was better in this role than he was in Uncut Gems. I found Uncut Gems hard to watch, so this was a really, really great. And I love basketball, so it was kind of
all
like
the basketball
melding.
players in it.
Yeah, melding my heart. All right, let's move into the top 5. Connor, what's your number 5 pick?
So these two go. I have two because they go together. It's X and Pearl.
Okay, makes sense.
X is probably one of the most fun movies I've seen. It's literally just Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets a porno.
Wow.
And then I think Pearl, the prequel technically, was a better film, like all things considered. Still really fun to watch Maya Goth just lose her mind.
Yeah. So your top 5 has turned into a top 9
Sounds
in
like
classic Aaron
I was gonna say,
style.
it sounds like
It's
you,
just-
Aaron.
we're at 6. It's only 6.
Well, I mean, you also had 3 honorable mentions. So.
Yeah, but those aren't top 5.
Yeah, well, okay, fair.
Yeah, I got you on
All
a
right.
technicality.
Sam,
Yeah,
what's your
my number 5 is a
number
Netflix original, All Quiet on the Western Front
Ooh,
movie about World
good
War
pick.
One, the German point of view, pretty much like an anti-war film. The score was amazing. The cinematography was amazing. The acting was great. And then the ending was also very, very heart-wrenching. So,
Mm.
if you haven't
Well.
seen that, I'd highly recommend watching it.
I'm sure that a lot of people will pick it up after they listen to this episode. The millions. My number 5 is a movie that we saw recently. It's The Whale. We already talked about it. It's pretty solid. Just cracked my top 5.
Solid.
Moving on. Connor, number 4.
This might be controversial. I have Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow.
Number 4.
Wow.
I am what you would consider a very dumb person. The concept of the multiverse has never made any sense to me. But I at least cracked it a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
So, number 4. Also, performances were fantastic.
Boy. Yeah, well, I can agree to that. All right, Sam. Number 4.
My number 4 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Also,
Okay.
And then maybe it's not controversial.
Wow.
it's still controversial. I don't know. My top 3, obviously, I just liked more and I had more fun. But I understand why a lot of people enjoy Everything a lot, like as one of the best movies of the year, if not the best. So, but it's just for me, I just didn't have as much fun in it as my other top choices. So,
Fair.
but still a great movie, great acting, everything like that. So,
My number 4 is Causeway, Jennifer Lawrence film. Very much in the same vein of The Whale in that it's a deep character study, and it's got great performances all around. Jennifer Lawrence, Brian, is it Brian David Tyree or Tyree David?
I think it's Brian Tyree.
Whatever.
Christ.
Mr. Brian
Tyree
something.
Henry. I think it's Tyree Henry.
yeah,
It's a lot.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I could have just looked it up. I had it right in front of me. Anyways, great performances by the whole cast. A really compelling story. Emotional. It was just a very big surprise for me. So, definitely on my list.
Nice.
All right, Connor.
Number 3,
Number 3.
Barbarian.
Oh my goodness, going full horror.
I mean, not really, but yeah, fucking love this movie. I love just how batshit crazy it is, and then it just flips the switch.
Yeah.
I know you didn't like that.
No.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Plus,
It'll have different strokes for different folks, I guess is what they say.
Whoa.
again. Yeah, I don't know if that's the term you want to use with this movie.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Love Barbarian, one of my favorite movies of the year.
All right, Sam. Number 3.
Number 3, this is a movie I had so much fun watching, even though it's a 3-hour movie. I had Babylon.
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
Yep.
Yep. The score was great, acting was great. This is probably one of Margot Robbie's probably best performances. And then was it Diego Calva? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It
I
is.
that's the first time I've seen him in anything, and he was great in that too.
Solid.
But for a 3-hour movie, my eyes were glued to the screen, which is hard to do sometimes, except for unless it's Lord of the Rings. But
Yeah.
so that's my number 3.
Awesome. My number 3 is a movie that I'm surprised hasn't come out yet, but I'm sure it's about to. From you guys, I have Glass Onion. It is an amazing mystery film continuing the story of Benoit Blanc. I felt it did a lot of things better than the original did, but in such a different way that it kept it interesting. And I was on the edge of my seat watching the whole thing. It was awesome. So, Glass Onion, top 3.
Yeah, that's a good one. You could read my review for it. Coming soon.
Yeah, it'll be out very shortly, if not out already.
I forget when I scheduled it. Number 2. This one is kind of off the map. I don't think either of you guys have seen this movie. Cha-Cha Real Smooth.
I knew it. As soon
Yep.
as you said it was off the map, I knew it was coming.
Now, is it a
This
good movie,
movie-
or is it just because it has Leslie Mann?
No, it's
He got
it's a
you
good,
there.
It's a good movie.
He got you.
Nah.
It's like, I told you, it's like a really good comfort movie. I saw it once, and I saw it again almost immediately.
Wow.
Everyone is just so likable in this. That it's just so easy to watch.
Impressive. Mm-hmm. All right, Sam, number 2.
My number 2 is Top Gun Maverick.
Ah.
So,
I was waiting for one of us.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering when it was going to come out.
but I know I was looking at a lot of reviews. A lot of people have Top Gun like lower on their list, but I just had so
Not
much
here.
fun in this movie, better than the first one. Yeah. Can't
All right.
really say much
My
more
number
about
2.
that movie, everybody.
Yeah. My number 2 is Top Gun Maverick. So
There you go.
Right.
it wasn't coming out with you. It was coming out with me. No, it's awesome. Go watch it. That's the only thing I can really say about it. Go watch it. The action's great, and
Yeah.
the story's really solid, and the acting's really, really good. So
Well, if it wasn't coming out with either of you two, it's coming out for me. My number 1 movie was Top Gun Maverick.
wow, look at that.
I watched this movie so much. I can tell you exactly what happened at what point. Just fucking love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Such a thrill.
Sam, number 1.
My number 1 is personally my favorite superhero vigilante of all time, and I have the
Black
Bat.
Adam.
Black. I was gonna say Black
No,
Adam.
I had Morbius.
Ah,
I'm just kidding. No,
deep cut.
no, it's the Batman. My number 1's the Batman. This is one of the movies that I've seen this year that like I've been wanting to see again. I have it sitting on my shelf right there as a movie I got for Christmas.
Nice.
So probably like this week I'm gonna watch it again. So
Good.
All right, my number 1 is a fantastic movie. It's original with stellar acting and great choices all around for across the board. I'm of course talking about Blonde. No, I'm just kidding. It's everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah.
It's just too good to not rank number one. Blonde was trash. Don't watch it.
We'll talk about that. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Now that we've gotten our top 5 list out, so you understand a little bit more about what we enjoy, what we saw this year, what we thought was good. Let's talk about how this is going to format a little bit. So we've got a bunch of categories, 5 nominees per category. We will read off, go interchangeably. So I'll take category 1, Connor will take category 2, Sam will take category 3. We'll read off the nominees and then announce the winner. We'll talk about the winner very briefly and move on to the next. We don't want this to be like a 5-hour podcast. We just want it to be very, very succinct. And then your awards will be in the mail.
Already shipping. Yeah, we
Yep.
don't have a musical performer, so we kind of have to.
Yeah, we just keep it moving along.
Yeah, it's like when you take like a show that has like a laugh track and take out the laugh track, and the show
Yep.
then becomes like 5 minutes long. That's
Yep.
us.
Yep. All right. So, without further ado, let's go into our first category. I don't have any music intro. Do we want to do our normal intro?
Bum 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 bum.
I'm gonna do our normal intro. Ready? Oh wait, never mind.
Don't do
I don't know
this.
where my
Don't
I don't know
do
where
the full
my button
intro.
went. So
Oh no.
oh, I found it.
Oh damn it! Thought I hit it.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
All right. So, category number 1, we're talking about action movies. So, the nominees are for Best Action Movie of 2022. We've got The Northman, Avatar: The Way of Water, Top Gun: Maverick, The Batman, and All Quiet on the Western Front. And the winner is... It's Top Gun: Maverick. Yeah!
Who would have guessed?
Wow!
This was one of our easiest decisions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally unanimous. I mean, look, it might be one of the best action movies since 2000, let alone of 2022.
What was 2000?
Well, I'm just saying, like, in the 21st century. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's that good, and I didn't expect it to be. I don't think
And
anybody
actual
did.
planes.
Yeah. It was really, really good. So if you haven't seen it, please, please, please watch it. You will not regret it.
I agree.
All right. Connor, you want to bring us into the drama category?
Oh, yeah, because I'm the most dramatic. All right. So, our nominees for the best drama of 2022 were The Whale, Elvis, The Banshees of Inisherin.
You almost messed that one up.
I messed it up a bunch of times when I was telling people about it. The Fablemans, and Causeway. And the winner is The Whale.
Woo! Congratulations, Brendan Fraser. No,
Yeah.
The Whale is. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews out there on The Whale. People's talking about the script and stuff like that. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, obviously we chose it for best drama. I don't think that any sort of issues it had in scripting took away from the absolute just
It's
wreck
a
of a
crushing
movie.
story.
Yes. And it works. The story feels real. And it's carried along by Brendan Fraser, who is amazing in the role. And the characters are all solid. Some issues sprinkled in.
Some
but
people
it's
did
not
need to be involved.
right. But it's not enough to take away from the movie.
Especially, it had a phenomenal ending that
Yeah.
we grown men.
Yes.
Yeah,
down
as
in
three
tears.
grown men in their 20s all came out of different theater experiences weeping.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
boy.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I had Banshees rated higher, but I don't know.
It's tough.
I was going between Banshees and Whale, so but
Yeah, I
do
mean,
that,
there's a
yeah.
reason that it was in there for sure. All right, Sam, bring
Right.
us into the next category.
The next category is the comedy category. Now, we want to talk about comedy this year. It was when we were trying to, pick out comedic movies. It wasn't the easiest.
No,
We had to stretch.
yeah, we
yeah.
stretched it,
We stretched it a
but
lot.
there's not a lot of comedies that came out in 2022. But we did our best.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of these are something comedies that we just tossed in here.
So, the nominees are Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Bullet Train, Weird Al Yankovic Story, Spirited, and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And the winner is... Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Hey, woo! Congratulations! A horror movie wins best comedy.
Well, we have an action movie in there. We have a musical in there.
Yeah, we have a Christmas movie.
It was a tough category, a tough year for comedy. But Connor, you had told us when we were planning this, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is delightfully funny when it shouldn't be.
It is the best reviews I've seen. It's like, you know how with TV shows that are like made for kids, but they're like adults writing it, so they just like totally miss the mark on like the comedic factors of like kids our age and younger. This is like perfectly written for like our generation. Like Pete Davidson is really fucking funny in this. Spoiler, actually no spoilers.
No spoilers.
I think all the comedic bits just hit the mark perfect here. Which
What did you just say?
I don't know.
Did you say the comedic bitches?
No, I
No.
said the comedic marks hit perfect.
No, you said the comedic bitches mark.
What?
Did I say that?
I heard that.
I don't think.
I heard. I mean, maybe I heard something else,
Roll it
but
back.
it very roll back the tape. It very much sounded like you said the comedic bitches hit their mark.
No, the comedic marks hit their spot.
Oh boy. Well,
So, congrats, bodies, bodies, bodies.
yes, your award's in the mail, Pete. As if you couldn't get win more at life. All right, moving on. Our next category is one that's near and dear to my heart. It's the best horror movie of 2022. Our nominees are Barbarian, Nope, Pearl, X, and Watcher. And the winner is Barbarian. In a controversial one.
Yeah, this was a
But-
tough one.
At
Yeah,
the end of
this
the
was
day,
tough.
we gave it to Barbarian because of how successful most people felt of the duality of the film.
Yeah, this one really came down between Nope and Barbarian. And I don't want to take away anything from how good Nope was. But what I really appreciate about Barbarian is it is insanely bold of a movie to like lead you one direction. Like even the first half is a big misdirection in itself. Like you think it's like maybe not a home invasion, but you think it's like a psychopath meets a girl. No, turns out it's a monster movie. And then we get fucking Justin Long like just driving down the PCH, like singing show tunes. Like you couldn't be more of a 180 flip away. and I appreciated that so much.
Well, congratulations to Barbarian. Let's take us into our next category.
Yes. The best animated movie of 2022. Our nominees are Intergalactic, Wendell and Wild, sorry. The Sea Beast, Turning Red, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And the winner is it's Pinocchio, you goofs.
Hey, Disney's Pinocchio won.
That fucking piece of crap won.
Well.
No.
I think this was another one of our easiest picks of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other ones, I mean, there were some decent movies this year. And obviously there were a lot of omitted. Lightyear, Strange World, The Bad Guys, League of Super Pets. All of those movies were not included, but
Considered.
they were considered, absolutely. We did a thorough job. Yeah, but I mean, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio specifically was too good to not make.
Yeah, it was fucking beautiful. I love stop motion. I've made that very clear. It just looks I don't know how you have a stop motion movie look more real, and there's like more emotion in these puppets than like Tom Hanks and in Disney's Pinocchio.
Oh man, Tom Hanks had a rough 2022.
Yeah, not his best year, but hopefully 23 is a bit better.
All right, moving on to our next category.
Yeah, our next category is the best comic book movie of 2022, and this is probably a little. We'll just get into it. Anyways,
Yeah.
nominations are The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or as Connor liked to put it, Midness. Werewolf.
Not to tip our hands.
Werewolf by Night, and Black Adam. And the winner is
The wiener is.
it's The Batman.
Woo.
Seeing how
So
three out of
before we
five
talk,
on this list is Marvel.
yeah. And before we talk about the Batman, I want to note our one omission on this category was, in fact, Thor: Love and Thunder. We considered it, but we felt it was not worthy of being on this list,
Black Adam just nudged it out.
which is sad. There's a lot of comic book movies that came out this year, and a lot of them were just not great.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, it kind of felt like a struggle after to like pick movies after Batman and Black Panther.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Werewolf, but
Werewolf was good.
It's just
for what
also
it
like
was.
more like a TV special than it is a movie.
yeah,
Exactly. Like we had a stretch, but like it was still way better than Thor.
Yeah.
Black Adam, I think. Did we all see?
yep.
No, I
you
won't.
didn't see it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I'm not interested in Black Adam.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson was right. Dave Bautista is the best wrestler turned actor, and there is no debate there. I mean, John Cena's fine, but maybe in a couple years he'll be on Bautista's level.
Yep. All right. Well, moving on to our next category. We're moving away from the genres a little bit and talking about the biggest surprise movie of 2022.
So, before we read off our nominees, because I picked this category, the intent was to pick movies that like were not on our radar whatsoever, and like just completely surprised us with how good they were. Keep in mind as Aaron reads off these nominees.
Yeah, there's
That
one
is the
notable one
criteria.
in there, but I had
That
a reason
Aaron
for
picked.
including it. I had a reason for picking it, which has sound reasoning. It's just a matter of
It doesn't have
You know,
sound reasoning now that
it
I've
absolutely
listed
has sound
off
reasoning.
what this category is.
okay. Okay. So the nominees for biggest surprise of 2022 are After Sun, The Menu, Terrifier 2, Cha Cha Real Smooth, and Top Gun Maverick. Now there's a reason for it. Okay? It was because no one expected it to be as good as it was. All right? It was a big surprise in terms of the actual quality of the movie and versus expectations. Anyways, moving on. We've already debated this ad nauseum
Which
prior
I,
to this
I
episode.
still disagree with wholeheartedly.
Yeah, well. All right. Well, the winner for biggest surprise of 2022 is After Sun.
That's right, baby.
Congratulations.
It's my movie.
I know very little about this film.
Neither did I until I watched it, and then
That's why I got biggest surprise.
exactly it did what it was supposed to do to win this, to even be nominated for this. Wasn't on my radar. Turns out to be a really fucking sad movie about a girl and her dad.
Wow. Well, congratulations to After Sun. Moving on to our next category.
The flip side,
This is the movie award you don't want to win tonight.
So the next. Sorry, go ahead.
the biggest disappointment of 2022.
Oh, man.
There was a lot
A
to
lot.
be considered here.
There was a lot. We've got the most, like, in terms of honorable mentions, we have the most.
Yes.
Out of all the categories, the most movies are here.
And I feel like we could have added more too.
Oh, 100%.
So, our nominees were Blonde, Halloween Ends, Jurassic Park Domination, Amsterdam, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Do you want me to read off the honorable mentions too? Just
I mean, we can go over them very briefly.
yeah. Honorable mentions. We had Morbius, Don't Worry, Darling, Deep Water, Black Adam, and Disney's Pinocchio. But
Oof.
only one movie truly disappointed us, and the winner is Amsterdam.
Hey, congratulations. You win.
Kind of.
the
Kind
Razzie.
of. Yeah, this is a category that we all had to sit down and discuss because we all had
Yeah.
different picks.
Yep.
But I guess we ended
And we all had good reason for our picks,
yeah,
too.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
But with Amsterdam, just the stellar cast. If you just look at the cast, they're all like A tier, S tier actors and actresses, and it was not the greatest movie.
Yeah, a lot
it
of
fell
wasted
flat.
potential.
Very boring. Oh, boy. Well, let's go to
Yeah.
our next category.
The next category is the best original movie. So, nominees are Nope, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Hustle, The Whale, and Babylon. And the winner is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Woo! Congratulations. I feel like this was definitely well-deserved.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in terms of originality of a story, it is hard to get even more like original than what everything did and burst onto the scene doing. I mean, it was like, what is this movie?
Yeah. See, if you had put this as the biggest surprise,
I probably
I-
could have.
I would have.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because there were I don't remember seeing any sort of trailers for it.
Mm-mm.
I only saw it recently. I mean, I knew it was like phenomenal though, but I'd only seen it recently. Like it wasn't really a priority watch when I 1st heard about it. But then I watched it and it's just beautiful how it's shot, the fucking rock scene, the fact that they can just make a scene of just two boulders sitting at a cliff together and make it deep.
Yep.
And then I said like in my top 5 list, it makes the multiverse a little more understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Something Marvel has not been able to do.
No.
Maybe just introduce Waymond and
Yeah,
maybe,
right.
Maybe they'll figure it out.
Yeah, he'll be able to
Alpha
tell everyone
Ravens.
all about it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move to our next category. Is it me? Is this me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, this is one of the bigger awards of the evening, as if this has any weight to anything. But these are the nominees for Best Actor
You
of
skipped one.
2022. Oh, I did? Did I? Oh, shit.
Yeah, we have the best continuation.
Oh,
which
yes. Okay, sorry. I went too far. Okay.
You got a little excited.
My bad. This is not one of the most featured awards of the night.
This
The
is
best
a throwaway.
continuation.
So best
Of-
sequel, remake, prequel, just something continuing a story.
Right. So, the nominees for best continuation are Top Gun Maverick, Prey, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Story, Avatar 2, The Way of Water, or Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And the winner is... It's Glass Onion.
Nah,
Is
it's a really fucking good
yeah.
sequel.
Look, you know, we could have chosen Top Gun Maverick and Bid Basic, but in terms of continuation, I think we all agreed that while Top Gun Maverick probably it doesn't feel as much like a continuation of a story as it could be. Like you could set that alone as like its own movie and it would be totally fine. Glass Onion continues to expand on a universe that is interconnected, but only by a singular character, yet it felt so grounded in its own universe that it we just could not pass it up.
And plus, it's like, because you still follow Benoit Blanc. I feel like Glass Onion did the right thing and fleshed him out. They gave him more character. Mm-hmm. Like the first one, he kind of had like he was a little quirky detective, but here you get to see his personality on like full send, which is what should happen when you're continuing a story about a character. You got to just make him a person, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, congrats.
Glass Onion, your award is in the mail. All right, moving on to now what is one of our
Now.
featured categories of the night.
Best actor. So the way we did this too, it wasn't just best actor for one performance, it was best actor of the year. So if you got multiple performances,
They were all considered, yep.
Yep. So we have as our nominees Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick, Adam Sandler for Hustle, Colin Farrell for The Batman, The Banshees of Inisherin, and 13 Lives, and Austin Butler for Elvis. The winner is Brendan motherfucking Fraser.
It's Brendan Fraser, baby. He's back.
It's funny because Sam and I saw The Whale what 2 days ago now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I think we both had we were leaning towards Elvis, and Aaron said, "No, just go see the movie, and tell me what you think." And me and Sam came back from the movie. And we didn't even tell Aaron. We both hopped on our sheet together, and we had just erased Austin Butler as the winner and put Brendan Fraser as the winner.
Dude, he is like career defining performance. And I will riot if he does not win. I know there were other great performances. I mean, even just Austin Butler's Elvis, fantastic. I know Colin Farrell was really good in Banshees and is considered one of the front runners by a lot of pundits. But I don't care how you feel about the movie. Brendan Fraser delivers one of the greatest performances of all time in The Whale. And
Yeah,
it would be remiss if you pass it up.
Yeah, not to spoil it, but the reason I considered him the best actor is in the movie he's a 600-pound man. He's not can't physically act that much. So you just have to like see his face and like look in his eyes
Well, right,
when he
and-
acts. And it's
And
so
even just
powerful.
relying on, like, he's wearing a fat suit that weighed like 300 pounds. He's acting in a suit that is bigger than most people. That's insane.
Yeah, he
You know, and to deliver a performance that feels believable and grounded and while not actually being that person is just, oh God, I could go on and on, but
Yeah, well
I will
deserved
riot
that.
if
Was
he
it, what
doesn't
did he
win.
get? Like the 10-minute standing ovation or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
yeah.
Well
Well
deserved.
deserved, yeah.
Yep.
Should have been longer. Should have been
It
10
should've.
hours for all
Yeah.
I care.
They should still be clapping for him.
Yeah, I'm clapping. Not with my hands, but with my heart.
All right, moving on.
All right, so next one is also a big award. Is Best Actress. And again, with the Best Actor, we will take into account all the movies that they have starred in this year. So the nominees are Jennifer Lawrence in Causeway, Anya Taylor-Joy in The Menu, The Northman, and Amsterdam, Maya Goth in X and Pearl, Michelle Yeoh, is it Yeoh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Margot Robbie in Babylon and Amsterdam. And the winner is something I know so much about, Maya Goth in X and Pearl. Connor, take it away.
Yeah, so this one was also heavily debated. It really came down to Miss Goth, Jennifer Lawrence, and Margot Robbie. My argument for Maya Goth was, first off, I think it's fair to say she is not on like the name recognition scale of a Jennifer Lawrence or a Margot Robbie. Yet she was still able to carry A24's first ever franchise. Not like, and in these movies too, she's playing very different people.
Mm-hmm.
Super believable each time. And I said with Pearl, she is also responsible for maybe one of the most creepy endings in a movie ever. Just staring blankly at the camera, smiling until she cries. But yeah, I thought her performance as in Pearl and X was phenomenal for someone like her.
Mm-hmm. And I think on top of that too, like in Hollywood and the big awards, your Academy Awards, your Golden Globes, horror movies do not get recognition, like hardly at all. And we felt it was really important on top of all of that to recognize the performance in horror. And that's why we put it in there.
Yeah, we
gave her
just
the win.
it's our award show. We can do what we want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We ain't the fucking Oscars.
All right, moving on to the best streaming exclusive award. Our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Hustle. I don't know what you guys are laughing about over there. Our cameras are on. I don't know what's going on over there. All I just see is the two of them dying for no reason. Would you mind explaining what's going on here for the listeners?
I don't know how it happened, but there's just a bunch of sevens on our award sheet.
Yeah.
Just scattered
So-
all over the place.
So when I use my soundboard, it's mapped to the number keys. So when it's on Excel, whenever I do my drum roll, it's mapped to 7. And I've noticed throughout this recording that a certain someone has added more 7s across this whole thing.
I didn't know you had an app to the 7.
I did. I just
joking.
kept typing 7.
I'm so confused why there's so many sevens.
Oh my god. All right. Back to the awards. The best streaming exclusive of 2022. So these are movies that came out exclusively on streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, you get the idea. Our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Hustle, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Prey, and Fresh. And the winner is All Quiet on the Western Front.
Woo!
Woo! Congrats.
Yeah. As Sam, you had said, I always like a good war movie from a perspective you haven't seen
Exactly. Yeah.
or thought about.
I was gonna say yeah, because all the war obviously most of the English war movies, from the American point of view, the British point of view, the Allies' point of view. But I've honestly never seen anything from the Axis and German stuff like that. So, and I think that it was shot beautifully. The soundtrack was great. The action was great. So.
Good to show love to a movie that I've seen just plastered on Netflix, but I haven't gotten around to watching it. But definitely gonna give it a shot.
And I saw it. I was actually on a plane and I was watching it, and I had my headphones in with ear canceling. And let me tell you, that makes a difference. I kind of wish this movie got released in the theaters.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's.
Well, congratulations in German to All Quiet on the Western Front. Connor, let's bring us to the next category.
All right. Probably the one we are least qualified to talk about. Best soundtrack. Our nominees are Babylon, Elvis, The Banshees of Inisherin, The Batman, and Intergalactic. Our winner was Babylon.
Woo! Congratulations.
Yeah, good music. I feel like that's all we can really say about any of these.
Yep.
Definitely a preference thing. But Babylon, good music for the time period.
All right, and now the big one. Sam, why don't you bring us home?
Yeah, so the overall movie of 2022. This is the overall movie of 2022.
the overall.
The overalls movie.
The movie that had the most overalls in it, and the winner is X.
It's the overall movie, the movie that was the most movie of 2022. Oh, you got
Most
me
movie. I love that you doubled down on it because you said overall movie of 2022, and I was like, you never specified as the best one, and then you doubled down and said this is the overall movie.
All right, so the nominations: Everything Everywhere All at Once, Babylon, The Whale, Top Gun Maverick, and The Batman. And the winner for the overalls movie is
The overalls award. I love that. That should be our award name.
The Maya Goth Overalls Award winner is
all right. So the winner is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yay! Everything Everywhere. That
So-
the most overall movie.
Yeah, so I know me and Connor had it as our number 4, and Aaron obviously had it as number 1. But we also talked about, it doesn't matter if we didn't like it as much as the other movies we've seen, but it was we understand that it's just hard to explain. We understand that.
The impact it had on the film industry. I mean, this movie came out of nowhere and just blew everyone's socks off.
yeah.
And it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, especially because I think it came down to Top Gun Maverick in this, really. I think Top Gun Maverick, it's not like a groundbreaking story. It's fun to rewatch, but with everything, like it's not a movie that I can just watch on the treadmill. It's a movie I'm gonna sit down and like be fully invested in,
Right.
like every time I watch.
Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the overall awards. I love that name now. That's what our awards are now called, the overall awards. The overall awards are now done for 2022. Let's look ahead to 2023. There's a few movies that we've got on our radar that are hopefully not terrible.
Hopefully. Good hope.
So I think for most anticipated for 2023, there's no award, and obviously, we don't know if these movies are good, but we really hope they are. And also, I just want to point out in our file here, it's spelled most anticapted for 2023.
Did I do that by accident?
You sure did.
Oh yeah, I did.
Most anticapted. We've got Across the Spider-Verse. Oppenheimer. Barbie, which is wild that it's on our list, but it is hotly anticipated for a reason.
Margot Robbie in it, so
It looks
Yeah,
fucking,
well.
it does look pretty good.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Probably the only Marvel film that I'm excited for next year. And Indiana Jones 5. Probably the biggest potential to not be good next year.
That's our high variance pick. That's like if you're doing a fantasy draft, that's like that's your shot in the dark. Like, hey,
Yeah, your dark horse flyer.
maybe he's QB1, maybe he's out of the league. But
maybe it's gonna win the
It'll
the biggest surprise next December.
he could be the
Yeah,
best
right.
overalls.
It could be the best.
It could win our overall award.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, with that said, we have now finished our awards for 2022. We've looked ahead to 2023. Just real quick, want to touch on before we end this podcast a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes. So,
A little housekeeping.
right. So we're taking a bit of a step back from the podcast itself in 2023, for at least for the foreseeable future, to try and retool some things. But in replacement of that, we've got a completely rebuilt, brand new website, thefilmboxreviews.com, where we're putting a ton of energy and effort into writing reviews, writing articles and essays about the film industry, across the board. And we're going pretty hot and heavy into that. So we're really excited about that. We've got a lot out. The website is basically live. It's www.thefilmboxreviews.com. We're really proud of it. We're working really hard on it. So there will still be content coming from us. We're just trying to figure out how to retool this podcast to better match what our vision is for the future. But in replacement of that, we are pivoting towards a lot of writing of new reviews, new movies, that sort of thing. So be on the lookout for that. But with that said, we will still be around. You will still be able to hear our beautiful voices, see our beautiful writing. So don't tune out. We're around. And with that said, this has been a special awards episode of the Film Box Podcast. We will see you next time.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
It's a beautiful day, I'm running away. Don't bother to Facebook message or call me. Cause I'm living life in airplane mode and everything is okay. I just wanna play, unplug for the day and live in the moment. Cause I'm living